No.
So anyway, we based everything on throwing more often with less exertion. And that was behind the whole shebang. Regardless of what we were doing otherwise, if you didn't go more often with less exertion, you start throwing too hard, I'd get them the hell off the mound.
Right. So your
monitored by the pitching coach, who is the pitching coach.
He's the pitching coach.
Right.
So your side sessions were all about real estate.
Side sessions were all about feel and touch, making the ball do something without maxing out your effort.
Right.
Consistency.
So
and everything.
Now, if you make the ball do something without maxing out your effort, doesn't it make sense that you can practice more?
Yes.
Okay. If I ask you to run 7 miles in a week, where are you going to feel better? Running 7 miles and taking a couple of days off and doing it again, or running 1 mile every day?
Yep.
Yeah, you
of
pace
course.
it out. Yeah.
1 mile every day.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, you know Buster Only, right?
Yeah.
When I was on the radio, we had him on one time, and I asked Buster that question. I said, "What would you do? What would you pick?" Because we were talking about back and forth on how to handle pitchers. He goes, "Well, I would run 7 miles in a week at once, and then take it." I said, "You would not." I said, "You're just saying that because you're on the radio and you're with the Major League Baseball Network." Of course, he never called in anymore. That was the end. That was the end of that.
Yeah, but that's all bravado. When we talk about we train quite frequently, and when I tell people
man, jeez.
Well, just in everything, everything is about you. If you go run a marathon, you don't go train to run the entire marathon. Small steps,
Right.
Produce miles. Same thing with pitching. You can do more volume with less intensity because your body can handle it. You can recover more effectively.
Boy, you just put. I wish you'd have told me that. That's a good way to put it. I like that. I said the same thing, only different, but that sounded good.
Well, it's logical common
Brains
sense.
take after his pops.
Oh,
No,
what did he
actually,
say?
take after his mom. Actually,
No. See, you've got the brain. He keeps everything, and you know this from coaching with him so many years.
yeah.
He keeps everything here.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the secret stealth attacker.
Right.
Me and you may vocalize our thoughts a little bit more effectively, but he sits on everything. So
But anyway, we were talking about the big three.
yeah. Tell some stories about each one of them. Maddox.
Okay. So when you approach them,
right.
okay, you could be very firm with Glavin. He's a strong-minded individual. So what you wanted to say to him, you could be firm with your presentation.